What is going on, guys? My name is Cakes Mitchell, and today we're going to be talking about Futuristic's new album, the review for his new album, and that is Blessings. So, Futuristic hit me up on Instagram and said, hoping to see a review on the new project when it drops, with a winky face. And so, I checked out his album, and I live streamed it yesterday, and I've had a little bit of time to reflect on it, and my thoughts on it are about the same. And this is my overall synopsis of the album. It had a lot of potential. I feel like it missed the mark a little bit, but there are some great songs on it. So, let's talk about the beginning of the album with Life. Life was a great song. I really liked the production and everything, and the lyricism and everything. It really set up the album well. It kind of was like, this is where we're going to go on the album. I'm going to talk about my fame and things, and if I'm really enjoying it and all this. And I liked that. It was a good opener song. I gave it like an 8 out of 10. It was a good song, and I liked it, and I was really looking forward if that's how he was going to carry the rest of the album. But then there were some missteps in some other songs, like Ben's, Do Too Much, Lights, Not the Vibe. There was just a bunch of songs that I think were just like they were okay, but they just weren't great. And I feel like where he wanted to go in this album, which was like, I'm famous, but I'm not really digging the whole vibe of it. Friends don't treat me the same. I can go and, like, I have all this money. I can do whatever I want, but I'm not completely happy with where I'm at. And I don't know. I really like the direction of where he wanted to take the album. I just feel like the execution on a lot of it was a little missed. The beat selection I felt like was very bland and blah for a lot of the project. There are exceptions to this, like in Epiphany and Get It Together. I really dug those two tracks, but overall I just felt like Futuristic's kind of in this identity crisis, at least in the beat matter of it, and even like in the other, like, how he wants to be perceived, because in Epiphany, he says he has this epiphany that he wants to be perceived as a more serious artist that talks about real issues. He had an epiphany. He wanted to get rid of the gimmick of Futuristic and make more of this realer kind of music, and that's cool. And I hope to see that come to fruition. And this album is a great step in that process, because this is definitely kind of shedding that Futuristic character out. But you can even see, like, the identity crisis within this own album, like on the song Talk, where it features Tech9 and Devon Terrell. It's like this faster paced, kind of a little bit of a punchline-y flow where Futuristic is kind of going off, and it's probably one of my favorites verses of his on the project, if not all time. And also on songs like Get It Together, it has a very Logic under pressure kind of feel to it with the beat and everything, which is way different from Talk. And then Epiphany, definitely heavily influenced by an NF kind of beat. And it's kind of like all over the place. And if you look at other albums that I've reviewed earlier this year, like NF's Perception or Whit Lowry's I Could Not Play in This, they kind of have like a thread of a similar sound throughout the entire album. Even though the beats are different and there's different feels to the beats, it kind of feels the same. Whereas in this album, it just kind of feels all over the place. And Futuristic is good at doing, like, in Epiphany, he did great in that song, Get It Together. He did great in that Logic kind of feel, and then in Talk he did great. But they were completely different styles. So next up for Futuristic, I would really like to see continuity of, like, where he wants to go. Because it's just a little bit all over the place. Futuristic does show his ability to create a great chorus, like in the song Clock. Was a great chorus, at least for me. I really enjoyed that. However, the song as a whole was a little bit blah. Like, he made a great chorus, but I feel like he didn't really capitalize on a verse and great subject matter. He just repeated the chorus a ton of times, which will get caught in your head. But I feel like it could have been a lot more. And that's like my overall thoughts for the album, is I feel like it just could have been a lot more than what it was. The direction of where he wanted to take it was great. I really liked what he wanted to talk about, and on a couple occasions it does work, like in Epiphany, Get It Together, and Talk. However, on a lot of things like Change Somebody, I know where he wanted to go with that song, which was like, I want to benefit people's lives. But for me, it came off as like, I want to change this person through my music, rather than like, I want to help people through my music, if that makes sense to you guys. And I don't know, I feel like there's a lot of forgettable songs on this project, even though there's a lot of rememberable ones, like Epiphany by Futuristic featuring NF. I give a 10. I hardly ever give out 10s. It's one of my favorite songs, definitely my favorite song by Futuristic. But he has a couple other good songs in here, like Talk was a good song, Life was a good song, Get It Together. So, but there's a lot of forgettable songs like Lights, Clocks, Benz, Change Somebody, Not the Vibe. So I really like where he wanted to go with the album, but I feel like it could have been, it just felt a little bit rushed. So that's my review. Thank you all so much. My name is Cakes Mitchell. If you want to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, you can follow me at just my name, Cakes Mitchell. And until next time. Blah.